Hello everyone and welcome back to another Pony and Wolf Productions video. My name is VisualPony and I am again your host for today's story, which is Woona Wants More Cookies by AliceA020 or AliceA020. So, this story has an adorable piece of cover art, which is basically why I chose it. You will see that adorable piece tomorrow in the behind the scenes video, and it just, it got my attention. So that's why I chose this story. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, it would really help us, and I would be honored to earn your subscription today.
But I want more cookies!
The small alicorn pouted as she stomped a demanding hoof on the ground.
No, Luna,
her older sister, Celestia, scolded.
You've already had 3 tonight. You can have more tomorrow. But I want more now!
Celestia sighed.
No, and that's my final answer. Oh, come on, please, big sis!
Luna begged.
How many times must I tell you? No!
Before Luna could say anything else, Celestia trotted away.
Well, you're wrong. Luna will have more cookies.
Luna whispered so her big sister wouldn't hear. As she spoke, a gleam of divisive showed in her eyes. Luna trotted to her room and walked over to her dresser. Opening the drawer, she took out a mask and put it on. Now there was surely no way any pony could recognize her. Ever so silently, so she wouldn't disturb even a mouse, she made her way to the storage room. Once inside, she shut the door and used her horn to create a small light. It was bright enough for her to see, but dim enough so it wouldn't be noticeable from the outside. She walked around the room, looking for the things she needed. She was careful to not knock anything down as she did so. After what seemed like forever to her, though truly it was only a minute or so, she found a rope.
Perfect!
Luna squeaked. Then she quickly covered her mouth with her hoof and looked around. Was she too loud? When nothing but the dripping of water coming from an old, rusted and broken pipe was heard, she breathed a sigh of relief. Quietly, she began trotting to the kitchen. Everything seemed to be going well. That is, until Big Sister Celestia was talking to their parents in the exact hall she needed to walk down to get to the kitchen. She quickly went behind the wall so she would remain unseen. She was standing on her hind legs with her front hoofs and back against the wall. What would she do now? Wait it out? Or sneak past them like the ninja she was? The latter seemed more suitable. The sooner she got those cookies, the better. So she began tiptoeing. She carefully looked around the corner and, sure enough, they were still talking.
While this may be an issue for most ponies, it is no problem for Ninja Luna,
she whispered haughtily. She was sure she was too loud, and their ears would pick up her whispers, but they just continued with their conversation. She sighed in relief, proud she didn't give herself away. She continued to tiptoe all the way to the other side, and once again her back and hoofs were pressed against the wall. She looked around the corner again and tiptoed out. She tiptoed through the hall ever so silently so she wouldn't be caught. Everything seemed to be going well.
Luna?
Luna swiveled her head around until her gaze was caught by her father's.
What are you doing?
He asked.
Ninja Woona is...
She could feel a bead of sweat form on her brow. Celestia casted her a suspicious glance. But then she came up with a perfect answer.
Ninja Woona is trying to attack Big Sister Celestia, but it seems she has failed.
The male alicorn chuckled.
I see. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll get her next time.
Of course I will. Be careful, Big Sister Celestia. Ninja Woona is coming.
With that said, she trotted off in the direction of the kitchen. She still walked silently, so quietly she wouldn't disturb even a mouse. Then she came across just the entrance she needed. The entrance to an air vent. Using her magic, she twisted and pulled the bolts off and set them down beside her. Also floating in her magic was what was guarding it, and she set that down too. Hastily she climbed inside. It was dusty, very dusty, but Luna knew she couldn't let something like that stand in the way of her cookies. She used her magic to help guide her to the vents that led to the kitchen. It took a little while, it was truthfully only a couple minutes, but she eventually could peek through one and see the kitchen. Luckily, no chefs were in the room at the moment and it was pretty dark. Smiling in achievement, Luna did the same to this one as she did to the entrance. It was more difficult since she couldn't see the bolts at all, but Luna knew she could do it. And she did. Then she tied the rope to the outside of the ventilation shaft and the other end around her body. She didn't know if it would hold her, but if it failed, she always had her wings, right? She began lowering herself slowly. While she did so, she constantly looked around in case some pony were to come in. She had to make sure no pony would see her sneaking extra cookies. She was so close. She could already taste the mouth-watering goodness that is a cookie.
Almost there,
she constantly repeated to herself. Her tongue stuck out of her mouth in concentration. She was super close now. All she had to do was reach out her hoof, take off the jar lid, and she would surely have another. The light flicked on. The sudden brightness surprised Luna enough where the rope tied around her body untied. Proof it wasn't tied tightly enough. She fell to the ground with a splat.
Luna,
her older sister said, surprised at the sight.
What are you doing?
Her younger sister only groaned from the pain as a response. With a sigh, Celestia trotted over.
You really want another cookie that badly?
At the word cookie, Luna quickly shot up and bobbed her head up and down quickly. Celestia sighed again.
Alright, but only one more.
Using her magic, Celestia took off the jar lid and floated out a cookie. She then gave it to Luna. Luna gobbled it up in no time, making Celestia chuckle a bit. It also left some crumbs around her mouth. Celestia was halfway turned around to walk away until Luna said,
Big sister?
Celestia turned back around to look at her younger sister.
Yes, what is it? Can I have another cookie?
Hello and welcome back to Common Thomas Visual Pony, where I will remind you that you can support BluePawWolf Productions through the links down in the description below. Every dollar helps as needed and very much appreciated and helps to keep the lights on around here. And you want to keep the lights on around here, don't you? And now let's get into the meat of the story because I can't keep speaking like this. Okay, so... Oh my word. Here's the thing. I can kinda understand Luna here. And I certainly especially in terms of cookies and chocolate. I have been very bad over the last few years. Like... Seriously, if I wanted more chocolate, I would, sometimes in the middle of the night, I would, get up, get in the car, and go get some. I mean, not so much in the last year, but before that, yes. The thing is just, for me as a child, this would have never gone over, because my mom was really a real hard ass in that regard. Like, even when I just opened the cupboard where she kept the chocolate or cookies or whatever. We had this one cupboard in the kitchen where there were snacks and all that. And we kids were never allowed to open it. And if we did, you better believe there was a whooping. That we got slapped real hard. There was no question why did you open it? Why did you open the snack cupboard or whatever? It was just an immediate slap. And arguing with, hey, can I have another piece of chocolate? Can I have another cookie or whatever? Forget it. I think that's one reason why I got so bad about it later on when I earned my own money. Anyhow, I hope that you enjoyed this story, and what stories about sweets do you have from your childhood? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm looking forward to reading them. And as always, I hope that this story has found you well in body and mind.